What's up, guys? I've been asked to do a review on the lifts and the matchup between Michael Todd in kind of a concise fashion. So, first off, I'll say that all Larry, Michael, and Levon represent some of the strongest human beings on the planet, especially in the arm wrestling world. Uh, the relationship between Larry and Michael is actually, it's looking like there's, I really am looking forward to seeing a legit match between Larry and Michael at some point. Uh, I think, I think maybe within the next few months that might actually be like a good match for Larry. And then there's Levon. Wow, what can you say? Um, there have been uh, there's movements in arm wrestling that are so indicative of how good an arm wrestler really is. And I remember when I was getting ready to pull Dennis, and Mazarenko was putting out his numbers. And when you start to really know how to arm wrestle, and you look at how much can a person go like this, how much can a person go like this, and like this? These four things. There are other strengths, of course, like there are fringe movements, which, a good arm wrestler can somehow bring into the match, like, floppers pressing and kings moving. A good arm wrestler can bring these strengths in. But if you're a good fundamental arm wrestler, rising, cupping, rolling, and supination, uh, if someone has you beat in these categories, it's extremely difficult to do anything with them. And the reason why we talk about these strengths is because they're very hard to counter. All strength is going to help you in arm wrestling, right down to the strength you've got in your calves or your hips or your back. Basically, the further away it is from the match, less likely a chance you're going to be able to get it in the match. But it's all going to help, and especially once a match is secured. Talk to a lot of arm wrestlers; they'll tell you, yeah, when my bench goes up, I feel better on the table. But the real key to having those muscles get activated is all this stuff with the wrist and the hand. When when I see someone be able to post like this in a really really strong manner, this is the first strength that I really look at on a person, because this dictates who has kind of the technical high ground. When a person has like the numbers like Levon has, or what Dennis was posting before my match with him, you just know right away you're in trouble. And then when they have the ability to retain their hand, just those two things, your ability to pull your arm up and bend your wrist in. People talk about how arm wrestling is a martial art and it's complicated. And yes, it is. And yes, it can be. But the first rule of arm wrestling is be strong. And it's be strong in these vectors that you're seeing the guys lift with, like rising, cupping, rolling. That's how you be strong as an arm wrestler. When you talk about powerlifting, bench, squat, dead. Arm wrestling, rise, cup, roll, throw in, supinate. Um, Hard to deal with. Very hard to deal with. So clearly, Levon is the guy. Are there arm wrestlers who are close to as strong as Levon? Yeah, there's a couple. There's a couple. Is he in the 0.0 something percentile? Yeah, he is. Uh, I think that there's probably a handful of arm wrestlers, probably a lot of them Russian or thereabouts, that can maybe do something like that. The only thing that I get from this is like when you talk about now the match up between Michael and Levon is uh, can Michael stop the match in any kind of a position that's workable? And is Levon technically sound enough to arm wrestle him properly? And for me, I believe thoroughly that in no way does Michael control the center of the table. No way. There is no strength that I'm seeing out of Michael in comparison to Levon that makes me think that any kind of central or offensive tactic is coming from Michael. That means that Michael is going to be on defense the entire match until Levon theoretically makes a mistake. So, will Levon make a mistake? Um, and I actually don't think he will. To me, the way I see this match is, with my head, and look at, I know that Michael's a fighter, and this is not an insult to either arm wrestler. They're both champions in my mind. I've got huge respect for both the guys, no matter what you think I think or say. Um, the answer has already, in my mind, revealed itself. And it's revealed itself because Michael is a known quantity to me, and Levon's strength is known, and his technique is actually also known. It revealed itself to me in two matches. The first match, and you guys can look them up, just type in these matches, and you'll see. Okay, you type in Dmitry Trubin versus Levan Saginashvilli, and it should come up. In this match, you've got Dmitry Trubin, who is one of the very best arm wrestlers in the world. I think that even for a time, people might have thought he was the best. He's been a top 10 arm wrestler for a very long time, top 5. He's really really good. And he is primarily an outside top roller. What that means is he's going after your hand primarily. He's beaten Michael in the past. Michael's beaten him also, but he uses a style where he attacks properly. When you watch Levon and Dmitry arm wrestle, Levon, when he's posting up with him, you see him kick back his wrist and really nail the climb. Okay, he did that with Dmitry, and he also did that round one with Vitaly. And there's probably nobody on the planet, perhaps in history, who would have given Levon a harder time up top. So, in my mind, Levon controls the high spot, and he's smart enough to prioritize it and go after it. And once he controls the high spot with Michael, which undeniably, strength wise, he has the advantage to force that, it leaves Michael, it basically removes his King's Move option. If if Levon is not going to hold on to Michael, I know that some people will give Levon advice that he needs to pin Michael quickly, which he may be able to do. But if he does not hold on, because a lot of arm wrestling is who's holding on to who, and it's the establishment of the high ground. And what that means by establishment of the high ground is it's an establishment of efficiency. In arm wrestling, what you want to do is you want to use more muscles against less muscles. That's why people post. If you are able to bring your hand high, it makes the other person have to hold on to you or come forward or some lesser technique where it allows you to use your arm and hand in combination against only their hand, basically, or flopped out shoulder, which are terrible options. Anyways, so all the data that I have to believe that Levon is an enormous favorite to win the match if it happens, which I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical. I worry we're going to see a whole lot of thumb wars and stuff like that. My balls are very blue at the moment. I hope they pull. I hope it's a war. I hope I'm surprised. But yeah, biggest match we got. Biggest match, and this will tell a story of the validity of the King's move. It'll tell a story of how great is this emerging champ, not emerging. How great is this champion, Levon, or can Michael Todd do the unthinkable? Anyways, that's my thoughts. I can't wait. I can't wait to watch it. I hope you guys do it. PAL, whoever needs to give these guys the thumbs up, just do it so we can all just sleep and know who the best is. North America versus Europe. We're all dying to see it.